Welcome back to the Wiz. I am Wiz.
Hey Dan,
Yes.
we live in a time of economic uncertainty, correct?
It's been going on for decades, yes.
But now, because you have obviously the post-COVID recession, sort of recession, you've got the war in Ukraine affecting things like energy prices and food prices, and, all sort of things like that. And do you know what I think would be the most reasonable, responsible thing any government could possibly do in times like this? Do you really want to know?
Sure.
It would be to do £45 billion worth of tax cuts, but of those tax cuts, 45% of that goes to the highest earning wealthy people in the country.
That sounds like capitalistic bullshit.
See, that promotes growth.
Well, you see, it
how.
trickles down. It trickles down. Don't you know it trickles down?
Yeah. Because the wealthy are well known for spending their money. Wait a second. No, they're not.
It trickles down.
I've been mad about this for ages. Still got plenty to talk about. Because it was our illustrious new Chancellor Quasi. Can't remember how you say his last name, but I'm calling him Quasi. Well, that's a bit of an insult to Quasimodo. At least he was a human.
Frollo.
As far as I'm aware, Quasi hasn't attempted to blackmail a woman into having sex with him or killing her. Although he is basically stealing from the entire country.
I mean, he might have. We don't know.
But that's in times like this where we're literally talking about thousands of pounds of energy bills this year, and then you're like, okay, well, what we need to do is we need to give the rich more money. So it's like the lowest income households off of this tax break will earn about £127 back in a year. The top earners, we're talking like £100,000 upwards, are earning £9,000 plus. If you get £1 million per year, you get £55,000 back, according to the statistics. It's fucking insanity.
Train, come on. The rich are hurting right now. They had to sell their yacht.
Only the Russians did, and they didn't really get a chance to. They didn't really get to sell them. They got kind of just impounded and/or blown up. But it's it's not even just the fact of doing it, because it's conservative ideology. They all do this. Ronald Reagan did it, and it's great for the rich, not so great for everyone else. Because how do we pay for this £45 billion we're just getting rid of? Oh, I know. Why don't we just borrow more? Oh, great. So we drive up the national debt. That's just what we need when we're in a recession. Thank fuck the Bank of England is is a separate body from Treasury now, because basically every day since that announcement came, the pound's been falling and crashing. To literally unprecedented lows, and they're predicting it'll keep getting worse. The Bank of England's been propping up fucking has been trying to fight the rise of inflation, and it's really funny because I've actually my earlier joke about Liz Truss maybe killing the Queen holds a bit more water now.
Yep.
So when the Queen died and we had her funeral, what happened is Parliament has to go into a recess. Makes sense. It's all part of the thing. Shouldn't be a massive deal. So conveniently, when Parliament is in recess and not meeting, and therefore she can't be put up in front of her peers to review this sort of stuff, or to be told off by the opposition, that's when she and her Chancellor decide to unleash this frankly insane mini budget. When literally every other economist in the world is sat there going, yeah, I have no idea what the fuck they're doing with this. This is insanity. Surely you have to think, well, that's a bit of a fuck up. Hey, Sabo.
Hello, Sabo.
We're talking economics and tax.
Oh, I thought you were just talking about the world.
No. Just in a period of economic recession and downturn, they've decided we need to invest £45 billion back into the taxpayer. By taxpayer, I mean the richest, the top earners, who get 45% of that £45 billion.
Listen, but now they can put less in their offshore account and pretend they don't have it.
It'd be one of these. It's one of those things where you could almost understand them trying this insane thing, because it's not as if trickle down economics has ever worked ever. Like, literally, it's never worked in any capacity. It's just because it's a stupid idea. Of course,
Because it makes no
work.
fucking sense.
Yeah, why would the rich people, who you give them more money, therefore spend more money? And how would that even get back down to the lower classes? Because it doesn't. Because it's just a stupid idea. It's a stupid idea designed by people who want to make it seem like a good idea. So
Who
they
want
get
more money.
So yeah, at any time where you weren't in any of this, it would be a dumb idea, but you could at least get away with it. But pulling this shit at a time period where people are literally like, have rising food costs, the cost of living itself is just getting out of control, and your big response is to do this. Oh, I'd also say to legalize fracking, or that's a smart move.
That's also for the rich and the corporations.
Oh yeah, because Liz Truss used to work for Shell, the big oil company, so she's literally, within 20 days of being Prime Minister, there's already letters of a vote of no confidence in for her. My suspicion, leaving aside my theory that she killed the Queen so she could push this through without opposition, my actual theory is that they know they can't win the next election because no one will vote for them because of all the shit they've done over the last 12 years. So they're just trying to drive up the national debt to such a ridiculous degree that the next government can't do anything, and they can sit and say, "Why haven't you done anything after we left you with no money to do anything?"
Oh, you mean like here, like what they do here?
Yeah, like what Reagan did.
Reagan, Bush, take your pick.
Well, Reagan's the one who stopped. Reagan's the most famous one.
Bush,
for doing
Reaganomics.
it. Yeah. More like the Reaganomicon. Unleashing financial hell upon any who foolishly read from it. I mean, give her credit. She's decided, like all women who in politics, decided to mould herself off of Margaret Thatcher. Only she looked at it and went, so she stole children's milk. What if I just steal everything from them?
What if I steal the child too?
It's like it's just actually insanity the way they're going about it. And it's almost as bad. It keeps reminding me of the fact that the minister in charge of business has his company largely make deal in Russia, and also he's on charge of like the climate change committee, but he's a climate change denier.
That reminds me of a line I heard the other day where someone was quoting Batman. It was like, "One day I saw a child playing with a ruby the size of a tangerine. The bandit had been throwing them away, and they said, why would a bandit throw away perfectly good children?"
He's right, you know.
So she's like, she's like, forget the rubies, I'll take the children. Not just their milk, but their everything.
Just actual insanity. And then, like, it's quite funny though, because she's kept radio silence on everything related to this since like last week when she made the announcement. And today was the first time she's done any kind of interviews. And she stupidly decided she was going to talk to a bunch of local radio stations instead of the national one. And the local radio stations rinsed her because they don't give a shit. They'll never talk. They don't get to talk to the Prime Minister ever. Like, they don't have any fucking parliamentary privilege to need to worry about.
So I'll go to the local radio stations. They probably either won't care or won't be informed enough to say anything bad about me.
Anyway, they just spend all the time pointing out how it's a dumb idea. When literally every economist, every fucking former chancellor has gone, yeah, this is insane. Even fucking rich people are like, I don't think we should be doing this. Granted, that's probably because if they said, I'm in favour of this, they would get tarred and feathered.
As they should.
So, I think she needs to be very careful, because one more push might actually just get a riot. And she will be hung, and she would get hung, drawn, and quartered. You know what? I wouldn't be sad. It's like, you've just basically said in your manifesto, fuck the poor, repeat 400 times, so fuck you.
Let them eat cake.
No, it's not even let them eat cake. It's let them eat nothing. Let them
eat dirt.
We can't afford cake.
Let them eat dirt.
Let them die and decrease the surplus population.
Libertarians.
Just actual insanity. Can't believe that cunt killed the Queen.
You know, I am glad, this is an aside, while we're talking about cunts, that in this game they replicated perfectly Vince McMahon's gorilla walk.
You can't do Vince McMahon and not have the gorilla walk.
It's true.
Also, Italy's elected a fascist dictator, so that's going to be fun.
Again?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're not here. Yeah, the Italian election happened, and the far right, ultra right wing party got in.
Yeah, I've been hearing there's been a lot of like far right shit over in Europe in general lately.
Well, so France didn't have it. They've still like their main psychotic far right person is a woman called Le Pen, and she didn't win the presidential election, but she got disturbingly close. But Italy definitely has. Although I think she's incredibly stupid, because one of her fucking things that she's pushing for is Italy getting out of the EU, and it's like, okay, Britain doing it is a stupid idea, but at least Britain used to have money and an economy. Italy doesn't have either of those things. It's been really surviving off EU subsidies for quite a while. It'd be almost like Greece saying we don't want to be part of this organisation that gives us money and tourism and a whole lot of benefits.
Or that one spot of France that people say is another country. I'm forgetting the name of it.
I mean, pick one.
Oh god,
People
there's
say
that
it
many?
depends.
I know it starts
Well,
with
it depends.
Every place outside of Paris.
Well, basically, like, France is an incredibly divided place.
Because I saw it this morning. I forgot the name of it now, but it was basically one of those things like Americans tell us what country this is, and I'm like, that's just part of France, you cunt. Like, no, it's a country. It's like, no, this is like me asking you to name a random fucking state, you fucking shitlord.
I mean, at this point, California might as well be another country.
Florida's another planet.
I'm pretty sure they actually wanted to secede at some point.
Some of the crazy shit they try to pass, I wouldn't be fucking surprised. Oh, speaking of crazy things passing, this isn't for America or Europe. So there's one in Japan where they're trying to pass it, basically a thing to make it so like manga people, like VTubers, stuff like that, can't be anonymous. The claim is for tax reasons, but the problem is, the problem is obviously privacy, and the other issue is, so Japan is kind of fucked when it comes to female manga people trying to like get into shit. So a lot of times they'll use pen names, and then like people won't realize they're a woman until like much later, like the Full Metal Alchemist lady and shit. And so this is gonna be a whole lot of issues with that and privacy, which is gonna be great when a bunch of fucking like American fucking idiots start like sending them like emails and shit because they didn't like the character in the fucking comic book. That's gonna be fun.
I mean, it's also going to be a bit of an issue when you're talking VTubers for...
Oh yeah, VTubers especially.
For some of the more, shall we say, eccentric fans of theirs.
Yeah.
Surely that just doesn't pass. Like, that's one of those things where they make a motion, but surely it just gets, like...
I hope it doesn't succeed.
Shouted down.
Or so many people who will protest that they'll give it up like that.
Anyway, there was two bits...
That one thing with where I forget they were gonna pass something where like the publishers would have all rights of like everything in all of their manga.
Oh, they were kind of trying to do it like what we have here.
And like several of the authors just straight up quit and protest. Like the one guy with Nejima is just like, okay, then Nejima's done. It worked because they were like, okay, I guess we can't get away with that.
Yeah, because of what they've seen here, people are more aware of not just giving them your rights.
But
of course they want it for like certain ones that are like just massive franchises. I get why they want it, but no.
Oh yeah, didn't they have Shinzo Abe's funeral not too long ago?
I think
I mean,
so.
not to shit on a dead man, but I think we did it better.
Nah, you did it longer.
Actually, no, it's Abe. Perfectly fine to shit on him. He's kind of a dick.
Yeah,
Didn't deserve to get shot, but still a dick. Liz Truss got shot, though, I wouldn't be sad. I'd be first in line to piss on that grave.
And I just gotta hope Trump actually gets some penalty of those things. That'd be fun, but I don't know. Well, I doubt.
I told you, they can't have him go to jail because of the security risks.
Then just shoot him. It's not difficult. You shoot a bunch of fucking school children. Just shoot this guy.
So to make the funnier train, the actual sentence for treason is death. So he actually should be killed.
Yeah, just fucking shoot him. It's
no
hard.
joke. By our law, he should be firing squatted.
When was the last time anyone's had a firing squad?
God knows.
Right, I mean, yeah. If you're gonna go old school, you need to go really old school.
Cannons.
I think the last firing squad is because the guy specifically requested it, just to like try and be a dick, basically.
Throw him into the fucking lion den. I know, a pool of sharks with frickin' laser beams
touch their frickin' heads.
That would do it. Mutated sea bass, maybe? Yeah, it's not hard.
You're a really angry goldfish.
You'll gun down like fucking waves of school children, but one orange man, oh no, we can't kill this guy.
Well, he's got money.
No, he doesn't.
Well, he pretends he has money, and we
He's
believe
bankrupt.
it.
He's been bankrupt how many times? He's like the
I
only
love how
man.
we pretend. I like though that we pretend he does, because he says he does.
He's the only man to ever open a casino and go broke in Vegas.
Hey! It wasn't Vegas. It was the Jersey Shore, and it was 3.
Oh, it was free. It was free casinos, and he went bust.
What was even funnier was the last one went bust during his presidential campaign. The other 2 went under before, and a lot of it had to do with the fact that the win-outs were shit for him, and also the fact that all these fucking casinos were so fucking close to each other, he was eating into his own fucking profits.
Ubisoft mentality of what if we just release the same thing?
That's all they know how to make anymore. Those fucking games.
Which wouldn't be so bad if they weren't if it wasn't literally a point of like, oh, here's this month you can get Far Cry, and then next month Assassin's Creed, or like within like the 2-week time frame they were coming out, and you think, fucking hell, I'd space them out more. Get people so they have a bit of a break, or people can,
No, all they know how to make are these kind of games.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying they should like space them out a bit more, And
then like occasionally like a Rainbow Six game.
Whenever they can pull the Reaganomicon out to resurrect Tom Clancy, so we can, come up with some asinine bullshit.
Since 1960, there have been 4 executions by firing squad, all in Utah.
I don't know why, but the fact that
Send it
it's
to
all
fucking
in Utah
then.
Yeah, it's not in Utah and shoot them. It's fine.
It's like...
Yeah, because the last one was in 2010, and the guy justified his choice because he didn't want to flop around like a dying fish during lethal injection, and thought it was preferred because he was a Mormon, which is
Mormon, Jesus.
Okay.
Oh yeah, also I forgot to mention I'm fighting JBL right now in a parking lot.
Yeah. It's not quite as interesting as economics and executing.
I mean, it's JBL. He never was really interesting. JBL. The most interesting thing about JBL is he's kind of a cunt. He's really, he's really shit in the ring. He's just kind of a cunt. That's really it.
Yeah, I think we're better off talking about the potential execution of a former US president.
Yeah.
Anyway, simple solution. Why don't we just throw him off a fucking building?
How about a catapult?
Why don't we just drive over him? Why don't we just get some drunk white girl to drive over him?
Oh my god, that's not Trump!
And then just blame, I don't know, anyone.
Oh my god, I think I just run over Donald Trump.
Hey, maybe if we tell the police he's a ethnic minority, they'll just shoot him for us.
Shoot him, he's Puerto Rican!
Look, it's fine to make fun of the police because they're all racist.
It's true. Hey, one of the more recent police things was their goal was to rescue a 15-year-old kidnapped girl, and they shot her. Whoops!
Oh yeah, they shot her because their father decked her out in tactical gear.
Except apparently that wasn't even true.
Oh really?
No, apparently it wasn't even true.
Is that just what they said to Justin?
That's what they told the
their...
reporters, and reporters went, Yeah, she was in tactical gear.
She was in tactical gear, and we should. So this is just like the one time with that one cop that went renegade in California, and they just started like opening fire on anyone who vaguely looked like him and anyone who vaguely drove anything resembling the van he was supposed to be in.
Hey, that's a white van! Shoot it!
So like at one point, I remember this one guy was just like delivering Chinese food in his van, and then like a SWAT team just showed up and started just like emptying machine gun fire into his van. They didn't hit him, but like
I'm just picturing the scene from Predator where they just obliterate the jungle.
Yeah, basically, and like they just, and then this like Chinese delivery guy gets out. He's like, "The hell are you doing?" And they're like, "Oh, we thought you were Richard Dorner, who is a tall black guy, and not a Chinese delivery man."
That makes I was like, man, this is really excessive force. Police policing around. And then you said he's a tall black guy. That suddenly makes a lot of sense.
He's even more dangerous. He was a cop, and he's tall and black. Ah!
They were waiting for this day. They had, like,
it was more the fact that they thought this tiny Chinese delivery guy like could possibly be this big black guy, and that's why they had to like just start opening fire into his van.
They had to obliterate his van.
I mean when they actually found the guy, he was in a cabin in the woods, and they just like straight up blew up the cabin. Like they
Considering what they did to the fucking van before looking, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
They might as well fucking called in a goddamn airstrike.
How do you know they didn't? How do you know they didn't get Chris Redfield's anti-wedding drone tape?
I'm pretty sure the only reason that didn't happen is that I don't believe the LA Police Department had access to drones, because this was like 10 years ago.
Yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna say if this happened today, they definitely just like call up a straight up drone strike on him.
The fucking Pat Labor would just rock down the streets, blowing up white vans.
They wouldn't bring in the fucking Noah squad, because they'd be like, hold on, maybe we should check things out first. They'd be like, no, stop that! You're supposed to just shoot things like the crazy guy on your team, who never really hits anything.
In RoboCop, when Ed 209 randomly blew away that guy, we weren't supposed to go, that seems like a fully functioning machine.
No. Perfect, I'll take 7! D.
He just blew up an innocent guy. What a great idea. Let's just do that.
We gotta rescue someone's been kidnapped. Don't have to if you fucking kill him. Kidnapper like, you don't move or I'll shoot her. Don't worry, we got it. Bang!
How can you shoot when she's already been shot? What? Bang.
Ha ha ha! Checkmate, criminal! And I will go to prison for it! I'll get a raise and a promotion!
Good job, officer. You stopped that 15-year-old girl who was kidnapped. She'll never darken our streets again.
A cop when a person with a decent build shows up that can fight back. I can't do anything about that! He might hurt me!
That's when they pull out the gun and shoot him, and then say, "Well, he probably."
Well, no, because then he has a gun too, and they're like, "Oh no, he's got a gun too! I can't do anything about that."
No. If he's big and he has a gun, they'll just let him.
You got a gun?
There's
nothing we can do about that.
There's nothing we can do. Also, we're gonna demolish the place because bad memories.
Officers.
It's not like we're trying to get rid of evidence or anything like that. Oh, that's silly.
Officers, there's some maniac shooting up the school. I don't know why you told us. That doesn't sound like our problem.
You're more like, you would literally have a better chance finding like some retired Marine who's hanging out like in the left, who will then suddenly just strap up and go in there.
I mean, this what happened at one of the most recent ones.
Yes!
There was just stood in the hallway.
It wasn't a Marine.
Yes.
There was a one of them. There was one that was not too long ago, where it was a it was it's a military branch. fuck, I'm forgetting.
Heels?
No, not the SEALs. It's it's a local, like local.
Oh.
It's not Coast Guard. Fuck. Maybe it is Coast Guard. I don't know. Basically, it was like someone who was just like from a military branch who was just who just happened to be around, and when the cops weren't going in, he's like, "Fuck this," and he went in.
Yeah, they didn't want him to go in.
Yeah, he went in.
He went in anyway. Yeah, they
And he
were like,
stopped it. He stopped it, and then the cops went in and went, "Look what we did! We did this! We are heroes!"
And then they demolished the place.
Yeah. Gotta get rid of the evidence. I mean,
I told you, I'm fairly certain that like they did most of the shooting there, and then they were like, "Oh, we messed up."
You know,
they were trying to just pretend nothing happened.
I actually feel bad about making the pig noises because that's really insulting to pigs.
Yeah, don't make pig noises at police officers, just, you know. Infer that they're all that until proven otherwise, they're racist, homophobic scumbags.
Yeah, pigs aren't racist, homophobic scumbags. They're just pigs. They just want food. Just give them food. That's all they want.
Well, I'd rather put a pig in charge of my economy at the moment.
Actually, I'd rather put a pig in the. Actually, you know, I think a pig would make a better cop.
Meanwhile, poor Joe Biden has to sit at the back of the funeral because he wouldn't take the bus like a normal person. Probably he doesn't want to go on buses because they're big, scary modern contraptions.
It might steal my soul!
He only takes trains.
It might steal my soul. I can't go on there.
Look, he will only take the horse-drawn carriage that he grew up in.
He can't go on the train because Corn Pop might find him.
No, he does take trains. His whole thing is that he took Amtrak.
Oh, a bus. He can't take the bus because
Delaware. Delaware to Washington when he was a senator for like years. Because he likes trains. He likes supporting the industry.
Oh, he can't go on the bus because Corn Pop's waiting on the bus for him, and he knows it. He's got to watch out for Corn Pop.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go on the bus though, because fuck the planet though. Am I right, fellas? So glad of climate change deniers in charge of the climate committee.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Like, why don't we just get a Holocaust denier to be in charge of memorial services?
I mean, we basically had that kind of shit during the
the
Trump era. Like, not even kidding. We had like
Yeah.
we had what was it? We had Vince McMahon's wife in charge of like the business committee. We had for education we had like the person who's like they need guns to stop bears. Who was actively trying to sabotage education, like... we literally had that in the Trump era. That was literally what we had.
Here's a question. Well, I guess not really a question. It's sort of a thing. I'm surprised we're not at the stage where they just say, hey, maybe to stop school shootings, we should give teachers guns.
They did! They did!
Oh, yeah.
That was a thing! They actually did try that!
We passed that stage a while ago.
Oh. I'm guessing it didn't work.
They tried. But yeah, that was, it wasn't Sandy Hook. It was one of the ones after Sandy Hook, which is depressing to fucking say.
It was one of the more relatively recent ones.
Yeah.
Let's give teachers guns.
It was
That
during
was
Trump's
all of our
administration.
school
I
shooting
know.
problems.
I'm pretty sure it was during Trump's administration when they tried that one.
Guys, I've got it. The solution to our shooting problems. What? More guns. Brilliant. You're a genius. No, it didn't work. Huh. We could have seen that coming. Well, you remember the fucking line from Simpsons? Oh, we've tried nothing and we're all out of ideas.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Oh yeah, no, it literally is that. In fact, like every time there was a shooting for the longest time, even with before we even put what little laws they added like not too long ago, they that was like the recurring meme is that we've tried nothing and yet nothing's working. Thoughts and prayers, guys.
Thoughts and also prayers. That will help. Could send money. No. Could send actual support. No. Just thoughts and prayers. Oh well, let's see if this like Italian dictatorship will even be as efficient as Mussolini was. For the record, Mussolini was not efficient.
He was not, despite what the fucking saying like, oh, at least the trains ran on time. They didn't.
Well, one train did.
One.
Just the one.
That was all he could manage.
basically. But it's fine. Italy's in classic fashion. Just wait to see who was going to win the war and then swap sides.
Yes.
We were always on the side of the Allies.
Uh-huh.
Guys,
Yeah.
remember that in the history book, please.
Please. We're begging you.
Meanwhile in Russia, it's all got a bit fucked.
What? I thought the Russians were doing great.
Well, hate to tell you this, but somehow it's got worse.
What?
How?
How?
Mass conscription, or conscription's been introduced, they're trying to do full mobilization. There's like fucking thousands of people being arrested for protesting, because turns out people don't want to go sent into the meat grinder of this war.
Yeah,
Surprise!
There was like Instagram videos of like Russian guys going to prison and like asking for volunteers, like people that have been like put away for life for like the grievous of crimes. And it's like, if you survive 6 months in Ukraine, you'll get a full pardon.
And they're like, nah.
The fucking recruitment office got shot up. Oh, I tell you what is probably the funniest thing that happened that actually came out, that was, of all countries, China decided to weigh in its opinion and say that China respects the freedoms and independence of other nations. And I was like, and you're like, wow, pure audacity to claim that. But not a month ago.
You fucking cunts!
But not a month ago. They had all those little military exercises on the border of Taiwan.
Well, just Taiwan.
Well, wait, what? Taiwan? What?
Taiwan
What are we
is not
talking
a
about?
nation.
That's not. That.
But Taiwan is a country.
What? No.
It's like we respect it. We respect all sovereign nations. What about Taiwan? Taiwan's not a sovereign nation. It belongs to us.
I don't know. What is this Taiwan? I've never heard of this place.
Is it ours? It sounds like it's ours.
It sounds like something that doesn't exist. You just think, man. I mean, when China of all people are saying maybe you shouldn't be doing this, Russia. Maybe the country that has actual concentration camps running right the fuck now is saying, this might be a bit too evil for us.
I think it's more of they see where the wind's blowing in the war and they're like,
Check out.
The guy.
Belarus also joined. It's like, motherfuckers, you were staging those. It is quite funny. All of the people just be like steadily going, we have nothing to do with Russia. What are you talking about? We're not friends.
Never were friends.
It's ridiculous. What a ridiculous thing to say. I can't believe you'd even entertain the idea that us and Russia were ever friends. You fools. You foolish fools.
But we weren't trying to kill each other for 30 years. That makes us friends, right?
Yay!
I mean, isn't that how it works? You're either mortal enemies or friends.
Yeah, I mean, not really, because it's like as an example, every Scandinavian country kind of hates each other. Okay, they don't really give a shit about the rest of Europe. It's like they all just fucking hate each other for some insane reason. Actually, a lot of them hate Denmark. Hello?
Hello.
Oh. Yeah, I was just saying, for some reason, I think it's related to like a broken treaty or something. A lot of Scandi countries hate Denmark. And other such historical reasons. But other than that, they don't really give a shit about or have any strong opinions about the rest of Europe. So there are lots of countries who are just indifferent to each other. Iceland, nobody has strong opinions about Iceland.
What about Morocco?
Except when... Morocco's a bit more contentious.
Didn't Trump want to like build a hotel in Iceland?
Probably, but he didn't. He wants to build lots of things. He wanted to build
they
another.
They wouldn't let him.
He wanted to build another golf course in Scotland. They said no. No. Fuck off.
We have enough golf courses.
Look, it's just a simple fact that any time anyone from Scotland gets money, the first thing they do is leave Scotland. I think the only famous Scotsman who still lives in Scotland might actually be Ewan McGregor. I think every other famous Scotsman I can think of is fucked right off.
I'm gonna be like, does he really count as famous?
Ewan McGregor?
Yeah.
You know who he is.
I know who he is, but I only know him from Star Wars. Has he done anything else? Because I haven't seen it.
Trainspotting?
Never watched it.
Wow. Trainspotting 2?
Never watched it.
He did Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm gonna be like, is he that famous? Because I only know him from Star Wars. I'm sure he did a lot of normie films, but I don't watch those. So it's like how I never heard of Robert Downey Jr. until Iron Man.
I mean, I'll check.
But he was in Ally McBeal, and I was like, do I look like the kind of person who watched Ally McBeal?
He did Moulin Rouge. That's another one he did.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch that either. I was against musicals back then.
He was in the film Doctor Sleep, which is a sort of sequel to The Shining. Yeah, Trainspotting 2.
I mean, I did see The Shining, but I'd never heard of Doctor Sleep.
Yeah, that's because that only came out a few years ago. The book as well was pretty recent. Oh, he was in Black Hawk Down, of course.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't even remember. I don't remember seeing him. I did see Black Hawk Down.
Oh yeah, the Menace Derek Ghost. He was in that. But yeah, I'd say Ewan McGregor's pretty famous. It's not like an A-lister, but definitely.
I'm sure he is to certain people, just not me.
Just definitely. I mean, he's obviously not as famous as other Scottish people who also famously popped off out of Scotland. The one that always made me laugh was that good old Sean Connery, because he also preached for independent Scotland. It's like, but you don't even live there, and you don't pay tax. But just because I don't live in Scotland isn't for tax reasons, it's because of my wife. Because she doesn't want to pay tax, I guess.
So, kind of off topics on this dumb video game shit. So, January 18th, the Stadia is officially dead.
Oh, neat.
Which, I mean, I'm more surprised that, I was like, wait, I thought it was already dead when I heard that. But I think the best part of the news, and I mean this completely unironically, is Google is going to give everybody who bought a Stadia a full refund for everything. Games, console, everything.
You'd think so, considering part of the whole thing they sold it on was it would have an actual lifespan and not just be dead, which it was.
I mean, still, but I didn't expect them to actually do anything. I expected them to be like, lol, fuck you, and then leave.
Be like, we're canceled. We're keeping your money. You can't have it back.
Thanks for the money, dickhead.
Google has enough money that they could literally just do that.
I mean, yeah, but do you realize how many companies have enough money that could do that and just don't? So I'm actually surprised. I mean, Google's still an evil company. I'm just really surprised by this one thing.
Any company that has to change its name or has to change its slogan from "Don't be evil," it's just kind of implying you're just going to do evil then.
Well, I think they got rid of that as part of this.
Yeah, they did. They changed their slogan from "Do No Evil," and it's like, well, it's just. I mean, you do that, and you're just basically inviting the fact that you're going to do evil.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why would you not get rid of it? Unless you had plans to do evil.
Why would you make that your slogan in the first place?
Because it's from when Google was a small company that was started up by fucking college kids.
And they thought it was funny.
Yeah, and they thought, well, we'll not be turned into evil. Well, this won't be evil. This is just going to be a a way to help
it's like,
people.
It's like our company motto is "Do no evil." Like, well, okay, well that sounds like you've considered doing evil at some point.
It's like when you tell people not to panic, and then I go, "Well, why I'm panicking about what I'm not supposed to be panicking about now."
Oh god,
I
no.
wasn't
Like,
panicked before.
what am I supposed to be panicking about? No, you know.
I'm panicked.
I wasn't panicked before, but now I am.
It's like if you're telling me not to panic, that means there's probably a situation that I would potentially think about panicking about.
Oh. Also, there's been some fun Overwatch 2 news. One thing,
was this
so
about the
huh?
I was gonna say this is about like the phone number tied to an account thing.
Well, there's that. Yeah, I was gonna be the last bit. The other one is the fact that you have to unlock all the old characters. And we already know Overwatch 1 is going to be literally deleted.
For new players, right? So, no, what it is it's like if it's your first, like, so if you're not like returning from Overwatch 1 or you're not doing this, is if you're a new account, because a lot of this is like basically, from my understanding, meant to stop smurfing, which is a pretty big problem in Overwatch. And Overwatch 2 is going to have a much bigger problem because it's free to play.
Yeah.
So
you're still gonna have Smurfs. It's just they won't have.
Oh,
every hero.
you are, but it's going to be like, so your account has to have a phone number tied to it, which is a bit shitty.
I don't
but
like
it's also,
that.
But that's also that is what the industry is kind of starting to lean towards.
Yeah,
more
I don't
now.
like it.
I don't like it either, but it's like that's not particularly just a Blizzard thing. That's
yeah, but I can
everyone
still
thing.
fucking point out that they're doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, other companies have done loot boxes, but, you know, they still did it, and it was still, you know, crap.
New player, so basically if you're a new player, I think it was like less than 50 quick play wins, you can't play competitive, and you can't play the full roster. So it's basically like you have to play X amount of quick play so that you have the whole roster, and I think part of their justification for it, because, I mean, you know, we can obviously theorize that it's to, you know, get people to buy the passes, which is probably a very big motivating factor of it. But I think the reason they're giving is to say encourage newer players to pick up like a variety of different characters and roles.
I think it's more the money thing. They're just gonna say that.
I'm not disputing that. I'm just being even-handed here.
Well, I'm being even-handed by being honest. I'm not playing devil's advocate for fun.
Okay, I was just saying, I already said that's what I think is more likely.
It is because it's fucking Blizzard.
Yeah, probably. But I do appreciate, but as someone who's dabbling in Overwatch 1, I think having anything to stop smurfing is always going to be probably one of the better moves, because that game had a pretty big problem with smurfs after a certain point.
Well, also the matchmaker was just kind of shit in general. Like that matchmaker was such dog shit, and actually playing Gundam Evo is really like almost like kind of like nailed that home to me. But
also,
there was
but then the other trade-off is they're getting rid of like the visual thing to tell you what people's levels are. I think.
I know they're there's another stupid thing they're doing. So I know they're doing that. They're getting rid of Overwatch 1 completely, which honestly at that point I'm just like, all right, give me a refund. They're not, but they should. Like, I mean, like doing that feels like...
Overwatch.
Okay.
But man, if you purchased Overwatch 1, it lets you get the Battle Pass for the second game. So it's just like you purchased the Battle Pass for Overwatch 2.
Give me a refund. Don't take my information, give me a refund.
I mean, good luck on that.
Fucking cum stains.
You'll have to see what the refund policy is, but I don't think it's like 6 years.
It's probably literally nothing. It's like, fuck you, you cunt, you played it, you paid it. You gave us your money, you shithead, you dumbass piece of shit. How could you trust us? I'm an asshole!
I mean, to be absolutely fair, I can't think of a whole lot of companies that would go after 6 years if you said, okay, I want a refund now. They'd go,
yeah, but
oh yeah, sure.
They're getting rid of the thing I bought. the thing I bought doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, I agree.
Like,
it's
imagine if, like, the car I bought, if, like, tomorrow I wake up and the fucking manufacturer comes, takes the fucking wheels off of it and the engine and goes, you gotta get a new one.
I agree,
Pay
it's
up!
shitty, but it's like, this is also not like a new... This has been going on for ages, ever since we had online-only games. Like, there's plenty of games that have been bricked like that, and it's like...
Yeah, but they're
As I said,
only
it's like-
doing it for
it's
their
an
new
indie-
game, and they have the game right there.
It's what the-
They're doing it because they
That's
know
it.
no one gives a shit about 2, because it's a piece of shit.
I'm just saying is that this is an industry problem, and I agree it's a huge problem. But like the industry, until we like have a massive like reshift of the industry, it's not gonna go. That's the problem. That's not gonna go away, regardless of Overwatch 2 or not. Like other games will come out, and then also, oh, after a few years, oh, they're bricked. Go fuck yourself. Like, isn't there another game that just died recently? I mean, pretty notable one, I think.
I mean, there are games that die, but this is also not like it dying. This is them deciding to kill it because they put out the new game that nobody gives a flying fuck about. And by the way, I do think it's funny though that the lead character designer has decided to fuck off. I like to imagine he decided to fuck off because no one's drawing porn of his third ninja girl. Well, third ninja, but this one's the girl. I like how all the Japanese characters are ninjas. Man, I think they might need to work on their diversity calculator thing. We got
I
three
mean, no,
ninjas.
but-
And they're all from
Yeah,
Japan,
but-
they all know each other.
I mean, I would think the most insulting thing is the only representative of Britain is Tracer. She's just the worst. It's like insulting that she's the threat. Like, no, could we just get rid of her and have literally anything else? I'll take a talking dog.
I mean, the character designs have also gotten worse, so it wouldn't be a good. It would probably be something worse for you.
I think
He'd probably turn around and go, "Hello,
the voice is just the worst. So I
it's
don't think
me,
you can actually do worse.
Nigel."
I mean, you're just gonna do the British equivalent of blackface, Dan. That's on you.
Hey, hey, that's what they would make. What do you want
Who
from
are
me?
you?
Hey, I'm
Who
just,
are- wait a
I'm
second.
just the messenger.
Wait a second. Wait a second. You're not Dan. You're award-winning comic book writer Dan Slott. No wonder you're so insulting to other cultures today. Oh.
Hey, no, I'm just saying what they would make. They would turn around and be like, here's our new character, Nigel, and he'd turn to the screen, he'd have a little top hat, a monocle, a cup of tea, and go, "Hello, Golf."
They should just put. I mean, I think the main thing is they need to change, like, well, he used to be called McCree, but I just call him Redacted now. They need to change Redacted's design to just a shirt that just says, "I am not a pervert." I think every time, because me and my friends have played a bit of it semi-recently, just as, like, you know, last whatever. And every time it's like, oh no, there's a pervert on the loose. Watch out, Redacted's got high noon. It's like, they should have changed his name to Redacted, I'm sorry. Or pervert.
Skeeves. The name's Skeeves.
No.
I
Call-
skeeve you out.
Wait, better idea. Better idea. Call him Sheev.
Let me tell you about my clones.
And look, Sheev canonically fucks.
I at least fucked the one time. And maybe it was just one of my clones that fucked.
No, it was definitely Sheev. He definitely fucks.
Just like someone fucked that.
Yeah, well. I'm just saying, that's canon. She fucks. Although I guess according to Lucas, Obi-Wan fucks. He just has
No,
Obi
no
pumping
love. Only put it in and then you put it out.
Obi
And then
pump
you
and
run
dump-
about.
Obi pump and dump Kenobi.
Don't love her and leave her. Just leave her.
Look, he just took the Norman Osborn advice of do what you need to and brim her fast. Which is horrible, but that's canon for you.
It's also canon he fucked Gwen Stacy.
No, they retcon that.
Oh, they retconned it again.
Yeah, no, that was the that was like the big thing from the last run of Spider-Man where they were toying with the idea of retconning one more day before we got this current run of Spider-Man of 6 months later.
Of
Spider-Man
Dan Slott.
who ruined everything. No, it's not Dan Slott currently.
Yet. He's gonna be back.
He's coming back, but it's not him who's writing this current storyline, and this current storyline is the one that's basically just fueling the exact problems that Spider-Man has had for decades, and has led to the continual downfall of the American comic book industry. But you know, we've already been over that.
Yeah, we talked that to death. We've talked it to death, yet comic books are putting themselves in the grave. Well, American
They
comic
refuse
books.
to let.
Well, the main two.
Well, considering Dark Horse, I don't think exists anymore.
I'm pretty sure they exist.
Image is in. Well, I think it's literally just McFarlane. And even then, I'm not 100%. And a whole bunch of other like smaller studios have wrapped up and closed shop, and like I said, I'm pretty sure the comic book industry is being wrapped up by manga sales still.
No, trade in your volume 1, man. Sorry, I always love referencing that thing because that was still so fucking funny.
Maybe if they made comic books actually worth investing in, it won't be such a terrible deal.
I mean, yeah, we've talked that to death. I think that's pretty much all of the bullshit going on. I just gotta finish this match, basically.
Are you wrestling?
Chris Jericho.
Well,
Yeah, nothing really funny.
he seems like
I already knocked out
He
Ric
seems
Flair
like
a
a-
second ago, so.
he seems like an okay guy from considering how many times he's done like Dark Side of the Ring and just said, yeah, that was a pretty fucked up thing that happened.
Yeah, I don't really have anything against Chris Jericho. I like his list
He's one
gimmick
of the-
from a few years ago. That was funny.
He's one of the better Chris's.
It's true. There aren't many, but he's one of them.
Well, there's certainly some stiff competition.
I don't think he's punched a boulder though.
Yeah, but he also didn't. How to sum it up? The whole thing of like Resident Evil 8 opening with Chris and his team just gunning down Mia, and then like never taking the time to explain to Ethan. All right, here's what's going on, buddy. Instead, it's just like, okay, I know I just shot what looks like your wife, and I know I'm kidnapping you and your baby, but
I like how even the game's like, hey, wasn't that stupid? And they're like, yeah, that
Well,
was
but the-
stupid. And then I'm like,
No,
hey, that doesn't get rid of your problem, asshole.
no, one of the guys is like, Chris, what a fucking weird thing you did. Why didn't you just tell him? And then Chris is just dead fucking silent. You're
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah, that doesn't really get rid of the problem, though. Of, you know, the bad writing.
Could have just said at any point. Man, I am so glad there's leaks about evil Chris because Jill and Claire died off screen were fucking bullshit. I felt like they were bullshit, but still.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
I
we-
didn't think they were gonna kill Claire, especially Claire and Jill. Like, they're too popular.
We,
If they said
but we did
Rebecca, I'd
kill-
probably be like, maybe they might do that.
yeah, but we did kill Ken's marriage though.
It's true.
She took the kid for you.
Oh, no, they didn't.
Oh, and he still.
He basically got wrongly accused of a crime by Mad Gear, so he's in hiding right now to clear his name.
Oh, he's been Cody, does he?
Well, Cody actually did some shit.
Oh. Poor Ken.
So yeah, no,
He's one of-
he's still married. He has beaten the divorce allegations.
Daenerys maybe murdered a guy.
Well, no, he's probably accused of murder or something. So that part of the leak was incorrect. So the leaks aren't 100%. That
I
or
know
the
the
leaks
whole-
could be based on like older versions of ideas from the game.
I mean, we know the whole cast now anyway, so.
Yeah, because I think they said there's gonna be like 18 characters.
Yeah, of the core roster, but obviously
There's gonna be a couple of DLCs. There's gonna be like a season 1 DLC set, and then they'll next year, because it'll do well, there'll be a season 2, which is probably when I'll get Sakura, because she's always locked into season 2 DLC, and I hate it.
I mean, she's probably. I mean, they've probably got at least like 5 years worth of content already planned, not necessarily done, but planned out.
Like, I know she's gonna show up, but I'm just so tired of her being in the DLC box.
Yeah, well.
Jerry fans fucking getting everything they want.
Yeah, well, it could be worse. Could be in the Sea Viper box.
Yeah, but Sea Viper is just dollar store fucking.
Yeah, we still haven't got
Vanessa.
El Fuerte back, have we?
Nobody fucking cares about El Forte.
I care about El Fuerte.
Oh, Chris Jericho, I was just talking about how cool you were, and you just fucked me over.
Eh.
Dick.
Fine.
I mean, to be fair, he is kicking the Wizard, so, you know.
That makes it okay.
I mean, like, who doesn't want to kick the Wizard?
The Wizard's arch enemy that I'm sure all of us know.
Chris Jericho, Triple H, and Ric Flair. They're his arch nemesis.
You know what? Alright. I'll have a look. Who does the Wizard actually fight? If anyone.
Ric Flair, Triple H, Chris Jericho.
Oh, I went on the Marvel comic database and it's just that was not a good look for the site. I'm just gonna say that now.
Oh yeah, it's a hideous looking site. But I already
it's
answered
even
the question.
worse.
I don't know why you're fucking looking things up. It's Triple H, Chris Jericho, Ric Flair, and they're all here together. This is their Sinister Three. Their Trouble Trio.
I just want to see if he fights any specific villain. Catch and brainwashed by. He was brainwashed by the Red Skull. That's really all I'm getting. Now there's like stuff about him in the modern era, but who gives a fuck about that? Oh my god! But you know how we joke about how he'd be fast. You know how fast he actually was. He could run at speeds of 100 miles an hour for up to an hour. It's like fucking.
That's it?
Wally West farts faster than that.
He's slower than cars. Like,
Oh my
like that's
God.
impressive until you look at every other speedster in existence. Man, the Wizard sucks. I think we've done better by the Wizard than fucking Marvel ever did. Alright, that's it. We're done now that we've shit on the Wizard himself.
It's time to leave.
It's time to leave.